This is a mental illness. It needs to be studied. What did I do? Bawl my eyes out. They were destined to one another. They were soulmates. Have you ever tried a new sunscreen and you feel like a disco ball? And not in like one of those kind of age movies where there's like the female main protagonist that comes into a room and the whole room sparkles. No, I would be the disco ball. Hi, welcome back. If you've read the title of the video, you know what you're in for. So, last year I had started and finished, kind of technically, the whole series the Husky and the White Cat Shizun. So this started off as a Chinese web novel, then got traditionally published, and it's about, usually the main theme is like an epic romance between two male characters. This is an historical danmei, so it takes kind of like historical fantasy actually, because it takes place in a historical mythological version of China, and the protagonist in the past timeline used to be like this tyrannical emperor, king, he calls himself all of them, and he has killed all of his enemies and all of his allies. He's alone in the world and he's like, well, time to die. So he ingests poison and dies, and he gets reincarnated in a version of himself from the past. So he's now 16-year-old and he gets to do everything all over again. Well, he decides that this time he wants to be a little bit better, like a little bit less evil, and he wants to save the great love of his life. This in the midst of like secrets and political intrigue. It's so fascinating. And I had read this series, I think last summer. Problem was that this series got traditionally published like very, very recently, and I got to the end and nobody had translated the end, especially like fun translations were really, really rare. So I read the end machine translated. It was fucking awful. It was awful. I couldn't understand anything. The names were all different. And so I was like, I now own 3 physical volumes on the Husky and the White Cat Shizun, and I have all of the other volumes that have been traditionally published in ebook form, and the ending, which is still like, it's going to be translated in the next year. It's going to be like all come out, all physical. I have a fun translation. So I think it's time. I think it's time that I reread all of the 11 volumes of this series. I had read the entirety of the series in 10 days. Don't even joke about it. So I already started the series yesterday in said clip. I hope that this series transforms into one of my favorites of all time, because I was so like engrossed in it last year, and then I got to the machine translator part and I was like, this is awful. This is not good, not good. So we'll see. So a rainstorm is about to hit, which perfect weather to read and to write in my very, very chunky diary. So I think I'll do that. Good morning! It's not even that early and I'm so sleepy. Context for what is about to happen. I am departing via train to go to my first ever holiday in 2 years. I am going to Emilia-Romagna, which is a region in Italy, with my boyfriends and some of our friends. And we're staying in a very beautiful place. Insert here. Yeah. And it's not even that early, and I was so excited that last night I was like, I really should get to sleeping. What I did instead is almost finish book 1. Yeah, I am on page 384, chapter 37, this variable one, meet a god. I have to be honest, this first book is not my favorite. I think it's the least interesting out of all of them, especially because this has 3 chapters
They're kind of long. They're like a story within the story that is not as interesting. It talks about the story of a ghost that the protagonists, you know, the husky and the white cat, are investigating, and the story of the ghost and her family and what happened is not... It's aggravating what happened to her, but it's not that interesting, especially because I already knew, so I skim read the chapters. And so here we are. The tension is exquisite. I cannot wait to get to volume 2, in which we like truly enter Chuaning's, the shizun head, because he is a repressed loser man. Those are my favorite. So I'm going to read on the train. I'm not going to take like the physical versions. I'm going to take my Kobo, and I think I'll be able to finish this and then start volume 2. It's about to rain, but I finished volume 1, so I'm on to fucking volume 2. Am I going to get rained on? Yes, but it's so nice. I finished volume 2. It was definitely better than volume 1. Not as good as I remembered. I thought like the yearning would be much more heightened, but maybe that's volume 3. I don't know. On to volume 3. Okay, is it crooked? It's definitely crooked. Please don't mind my silly pajamas and the state of my room. I'm doing some cleaning, but yes, we finished the 3rd volume. This is where things get good. I love 2 things in my danmeis: pining and longing, and a good like ghost city, ghost underworld arc. And this has both. In the 3rd volume, or the part of the story where the chapter title switches, if you know what I mean. Up until now, it was like this venerable one's something. And then in the halfway point, it changes to shizun's, so my master's. And this is where it started to hurt. Like, things get bad, get really, really bad, and it just gets worse. Because I kind of remember what happens, but like kind of not. The protagonist finally is able to confront his past and the unmeasurable amount of hurt that transformed him into what he was in his past life. And there's also like this very, I think, subtle commentary on China's caste system and the way that the protagonist was left abandoned in the streets, and he did whatever he could to bring his mother something to eat because a very rich woman had injured her. So there's this like class divide that's actually what transformed him into what he was in his past life. So this ruthless, very cunning, awful person. And I think that's really interesting. I think that's one of the things that not a lot of readers are adding. Possibly because Chinese culture is really, really tied to a caste system still today. I don't know. I found it really, really wonderful how it was done, and cannot wait to go on. Unfortunately, I don't have the physical copy of the other volumes, like the later volumes. And I do read the physical form a lot faster. So we're back to my e-reader. In a few days I will be departing for Switzerland because my father lives there, and I hope that their English libraries have some of these. I don't think they will, but we'll never know. Yeah, hello. He loves watching boats go by, like it's his favorite activity, even though he hates the boat noises. So here we go. What I meant to do was finish volume 4, because like the longing, this volume is like calm, tranquil. Up until now they're like Moran and his shizun, they're getting along fine. They're discovering their feelings for each other. Not that they're talking about their feelings for each other, but they're discovering that they have. Like Moran is discovering that his feelings are romantic, not just, oh yeah, I owe you, like a debt. And his shizun, Chowanin, is just panicking all the time, which is very, very fun to watch. I am at 80%, I think. I'm flying through it. What I did though, I meant to finish the volume. What I did though was bought a little bit of makeup, which I have on my lids. Fun makeup. And then I fucking watched that Homestuck trailer, because they are making Homestuck an animated series. And then I went and restarted Homestuck. Because that's just the way you do. Honestly, these arrows, fucking PTSD from them, like war flashbacks. So I finished volume 4 on the train. Very, very nice. The minute I finished the volume, I got my period. That was not nice. So now all I want to do is lay on my couch and not do anything. And I really, really wanted to start volume 5, which I'm going to do in the evening. I'm going to do it. Right now, I am doing absolutely nothing. Can't even doom scroll. I'm just in too much pain. So, we'll try to go back to Homestuck. I'm almost at slide 1000. This is a mental illness. It needs to be studied. So I just started volume 5. First note is dog balls. I love this series. I love it. Laura, cosa ne pensi dei cinesi magici volanti?
Potrebbero essere più gay.
Grazie. Welcome to the inside of my luggage. I am departing for Switzerland, where my dad lives, and I always go like 10 days. This year's 2 weeks, because of flight miscalculation, like on the flight company part, and I am packing. I'm going to go there via automobile, via car, which is 6 to 7 hours. I don't want to think about it. And I get so car sick, you have no idea. I am in the middle, right stuck in the middle of volume 5 of the Husky and his White Cat Shizun, and so much of like other sex gossip is getting aired out, which I think fascinating. First time that I read the story, I didn't really like connect or liked any other like kind of couple from the series. I really like Yuanxi. I'm not going to spoil what happens surrounding this character, but they're awesome. I love this character very, very much. And the whole like wedding, oh my god. I think there was also like the sweetest moment so far, even though it's full of sweet moments between Moran, the protagonist, and Chuaning. At one point, there are people bad-mouthing Chuaning, the shizun, and Moran wants to like beat everyone up, blah blah blah, and his shizun is like,
calm down. If you want to do something, cover my ears, because I don't care about them, but I'd rather not hear them. And so he covers his ears. I don't know, I thought that was like the sweetest thing ever. So yeah, I'm bringing obviously my kobo. I want to like buy a book or two. I'm going to show it in another vlog, but like, yeah.
Okay, so annoying a mess, but this is the fit for like first day in Switzerland. This is a dress that comes from Cuba. I love it so much. And today, just a chill day. I have a birthday, like family friend's birthday. Tomorrow though, I'm going to cut my hair because like it's getting too long. The wonderful news is that part of my window broke. So now I have to use this wonderful lighting right here. Not the best, not the worst, but not the best. I'm on my way to cut my hair, which is, you know, very long. I'm not going to get it too short or anything like crazy, but yeah, I am so done having super long hair because it's so hot and unmanageable because I'm a swimmer. It gets tangled, it's a mess. So I'm going to go have a cut by somebody who knows what they're doing, and I'll see you then. I am back, and this is the lighting that we're working with because yeah, it's raining outside, but look at my hair, it's so, I love it. And I got it like layered in the back. I feel so light. It's so weird. Now have my hair like waist length. I'm so happy. Now you listen to me here, okay? I am at 80% of the 5th volume of the Husky and Wet Cat Shizun. Like the header chapters, like the chapter headers. In the first part of the story where this venerable one does stuff, pretty self-explanatory. It was talking about Moran, who talks about himself in third person, and then it changed about halfway through to shizun because he is talking about Chuanin. And now, what is this? Why does it only say Waning? What's happening? I don't remember. The thing is, I kind of vaguely remember the stuff from the story, but then I don't remember stuff like this. I'm stressed. I took a lap. I had to take a lap of the house. Never in my life, outside of, you know, Oshantong Shu's danmei novels, like Heaven Official Blessing, like, I've never cried for a love confession. Never. What did I do? Bawl my eyes out. These two men are ruining my life. But I'm so glad. I was so scared that I wouldn't like this story as much this time around. I remember I did not like the ending very much. Well, it was okay, but there was one thing that kind of peeved me. And I'm really curious now to see if I'll still like it the same way. Yesterday I hunted down not only some books, because I have them, they're doing the tripod thing in which They are the tripod. But I also hunted down the Superstay Vinyl Ink by Maybelline. It's supposed to be like lipstick, but also a gloss that stays throughout the day. I think I'll do some exploring alone in the evening because my dad, who usually is always with me here, he has to go out on a boat because he is in a club, like a book club. What the fuck is going on? My dentist is going to hear about this. It's a very gloomy day, so I decided to put on like my best colors, which are these. Like these two, best colors in the world. So I took like this, that it's the same color as my skirt. Oh, I'm kind of scared to try this. Oh, it's dark. I did a thing I shouldn't have done. This is going to be the makeup for today. Very fall-esque. I'll just peruse the city. I have to finish my book. And tonight, I think I'll show you like my loot of books. What if I don't want to read ahead? What if I don't want to? Because I know what's gonna happen. I remember. What if I just stop here, where everything is kind of happy? How about I fuck off? They were destined to one another. They were soulmates. They were destined to meet. I'm so done with this story. It's so painful. I also acknowledge that it's beautifully written. I like this so much more than the first time around. The machine translation I read first time around was awful. Awful. Tell me what the fuck am I with? Why is this akin to torture? Why am I torturing myself? If he survived this, he promised he'd honor the worms as his saviors. Fuck off. Fuck right off. Okay, don't mind the fun going on, but fan action, it's so hot. Only 120 pages to go. Only 120, and I feel like that's not enough. What do you mean there's only 120? What do you mean? I had it, like, I did the math. I read more than 2,000 pages this week. That's mental illness. That is being mentally ill. That's what it is. Shuameng, the cousin of the protagonist, my son, I've adopted him. Adoption papers like ready behind me, and everything's going badly. Now I think we're heading towards a resolution, like a final resolution, but so much has gone wrong, and I don't remember how it ends aside from like, I don't know, extra chapters. I read like the awful machine translations, and the ending was a mess. Cannot like remember for the life of me what happened because I did not understand. And so I did not like it, but maybe this time around with a better translation. We'll see. Jesus, please do not fall. As you can see, it's almost midnight, and I have 40 pages to go. This including, like, I think the first extra story. I don't know what to feel. This was such a journey, and I'm almost to the end. I have my emotional support fox. I have my Kobo. I have a tea, which I'm using as a tripod. let's finish the Husky and his white cat shizun. I finished it. What the fuck? It was so sweet. It was very good. Very good. Melancholic, nostalgic, wonderful. Thank God I have extra stories now. Good morning. So as you saw yesterday night, I finished the Husky and his white cat shizun. And I have to say, from my memories, first time around, I really did not like the ending because I couldn't understand fucking anything. But that was like machine translation stuff, as I said a million times. I really enjoyed the ending. I really did. I think the writing has drastically improved from the first volume to the last one. Like the last 2 volumes, the writing was exquisite. Metaphors and the way things were described and the feelings, it was so melancholic and sweet and painful because it was so sweet. Our 2 protagonists, Chuaning and Moran, really got the ending that they wanted. And you know when you're like, oh, I would really love to buy a cottage on the countryside and just live there. That's the feeling that it gives. Like the ending, it's kind of bittersweet because, you know, people have died. A lot of people have died. I did, however, make the mistake of downloading the extras. They've all been translated into a PDF. And if you know, a PDF does not go well with e-readers. So I have to like do that all over again. I think I read them in my like spare time, but the story is finished. I made a mental note. I have read more than 250 pages. No, 2,500 pages. Yeah, just this week. Mental illness is strong in this one, but I think this has cemented as one of my favorite danmeis. It's still like Heaven Official Blessing and Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, and then there's this one. It has its flaws. I think it was paced better than I remember because, of course, translation is everything. But I really resonated with the secondary character, especially Shuemeng and Ye It's my beloved. I love that character so much. And I did not remember to have loved Ye so much. It had a little bit, like, too many scenes with Jun, like the Emperor. There was one very big scene in the ending volume that I was like, why are you showing this again? Why? Ugh. It has a lot of like, you know, darker themes, you know, very violent, very gory. There's sexual assault in it. I don't know, people saw it as voyeuristic. I saw it as to show the contrast of things. You know, Moran has grown up to be such a sweet and caring person despite his past as this evil emperor, and then you saw the past with the evil emperor, and it's like, it's not as much voyeuristic. I thought is, you know, showing you how bad can it get. And I think the central theme of the book is very clear to me. It's kindness always prevails. Empathy and kindness is what makes the world move in a certain way. And there wouldn't have been like the villains that we got if people had been compassionate and empathetic towards other people. And I think it's a wonderful theme. Would I have loved a slightly different ending? Kind of. Like, the ending is perfect. I think it's perfect. Slight spoilers. So would I have loved if Jun, the emperor, would have merged completely with Moran, so we didn't have like the switch? I would have loved it a little bit more. I think the author really loved the character of the emperor, and so she wanted to have him to the end. And I respect that because he was constructed really well. Like the regrets and how he behaved at the end, I think it showed a lot of growth. I would have loved to never see him again. However, but that's okay, that's just me. I think the fact that Chuaning and Moran still have such a long time together to like look forward in the future. Sweet, loving, end of the spoilers. So yeah, I cannot believe this journey is over. I cannot believe I read so much in such a little time. I thought it was going to like take me a month, and it took me 2 weeks top. That's not the sentence that I want to utter ever again. That's a sign that I'm not doing well mentally. And I'm on vacation. So I hope you had fun. I hope you'll start this series if it's something that you think that you love, despite, you know, the trigger warnings, content warnings, and the things that I warn you about. Videos over. I hope you had fun. I have some socials, they're down below. Fun time there, and I'll see you in the next one, possibly very soon. Let's fingers crossed. Goodbye. Mwah.